Hello there, Gia.
Hello, Keisha. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Everybody.
It's Thursday. It's
Yep.
Thursday, and we
Yep.
have 3 days to discuss. And I tried to watch each episode at least twice.
At least
Even
twice? What are you, a glutton for punishment lately?
a little bit. Well, I just can't retain anything, and
I know. I know. I hear
e-
you. All that's in my head is today's episode, and that's
yeah,
barely it.
it's right. Like, yeah, whatever you've just watched kind of knocks out what you watched previously.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Today was
so I
wicked soapy. I know we don't want to go there
wicked
yet.
soap. Yeah, yeah. Well, before we do, yeah, I tried to think of like what happened on Tuesday, and I guess we had the most significant thing. I guess was Dex getting stabbed.
Okay, so we're going back to that. And we had have you been keeping up with the Facebook page?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that's right. We had one of our friends, went to one of those gatherings and met some of our famous.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. That was,
Mhm,
yeah.
yeah,
It's
that
like she was there surrounded by
all the good ones.
Ava and Finn
Wasn't
and
Franco there?
Franco. I don't know. Let's call
Uh,
him Franco instead. He probably was
yeah.
Austin at that point, but
Yeah.
we'll call him Franco. But yeah, like
Mhm.
wow, like
I know, jealous much,
wowza.
huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And in like a lovely outfit, as I pointed out, like not
Yeah,
standing there
yeah.
in overalls or anything like I would be.
Hopefully not covering up your Tano t-shirt though, Gia.
Right, right, yeah. But
Maybe you could
anyway,
unbuckle.
somebody else said something about that stabbing in Rice Plaza, that they
Oh.
observed that the bell that Cyrus was ringing ceased
Mhm.
ringing during
Uh,
that part. I was like,
and
ooh,
that's what Felicia was trying to piece together.
yes, we got some smarty pants
We really
listeners
do.
here, because
Yeah, that's a
I didn't notice that at all.
I didn't I no, I think we knew it was going to be Cyrus, right? But I
Or we
wasn't thinking.
suspect, but
Yeah.
would they do that as a red herring kind of thing, and it's going to be
I don't
somebody else
know.
entirely? I don't
I
know.
think I think he's got enough of a real or imagined beef with Dex. Well, it doesn't even seem like he needs to have a beef with anybody to kill him at this
Right,
point.
yeah,
So,
that's the sad part. But
yeah.
I do we make anything of, like, so the stabbing was done with sort of surgical precision to not actually, like, everybody's like,
Mhm.
well, you're going to be fit as a fiddle in an hour, you're going to
Yeah.
be
I know. I know. It
like, oh,
did
you
seem
want to go
like.
ahead and have sex with Joss again right here in the hospital? Go ahead. You're barely injured. You
That
know,
seemed that seems kind of implausible because that blade was wide and it went all the way in, was just like 3 inches.
yeah,
Was
it
at
was a
least an
yucky.
inch.
I didn't like that scene where it was like that, somebody getting stabbed and almost not knowing it. I mean, he knew it, but you know what I
Yeah,
mean? It was
yeah,
so like
uh-huh.
quiet and stealthy and
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty sinister.
but
Um,
do you think, like, is that a clue to anything? Like, was somebody trying to make a statement but not really
mm,
injure Dex too
mhm.
badly? Like, obvious, like 1 inch to one direction would have gotten his, spleen or something. I don't know. I don't know what's I don't know what's there.
I think it still must have hit something.
Well, it didn't, like, he had surgery, but they were like, it didn't affect
Yeah,
any, like, well,
when he's
what's the surgery doing then?
I know when they mentioned surgery, it sounded like it was just stitches. Is that considered surgery
I
generally?
don't think so, because if so, then, well, I've had surgery then.
Yeah. So I don't know. They need a new medical consultant, I think. Or maybe they need to hire one. Maybe they don't have
Yeah.
anybody,
I guess
you
I have
know.
had surgery. Is tonsillectomy, is that considered
Yeah, I
surgery?
guess yeah, I think you'd consider that surgery. Yeah.
That's probably my most serious surgery to date.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Glad we finally got there because I don't think I knew that about you.
That I'd
So
had
and
my tonsils out.
yeah, that explains a lot, doesn't it, everyone?
Do
That's
you
like a little
do you still
tip
have
of the
yours?
brain.
Well, I had him out like as an almost grown up, so it was a little more.
Yes, yes, another piece of the puzzle.
It sort
I
of went out
agree.
of fashion to take them out automatically, like they used to take them
Oh,
out
did
automatically,
they?
you know?
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like, well, those are useless. It's like, do you really think they're useless? Like, why would they have those on the body? You know, if I don't
Yeah,
know.
just as practice, I guess, for young surgeons.
Or maybe they're like a disappearing like toe on a horse, you know, that
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
evolving, but it's just not quite
Okay.
gone yet. So, are
Okay. Uh-huh.
you with me
Hmm.
at all there?
A disappearing toe. Are you with you? Do first of all,
Somebody
do horses have toes?
Well,
One
they think that they had like toes,
in
like
place
I
of
don't know, four.
hooves or
Yeah, yeah,
okay
like little toey
feet?
toes.
Okay, Gia. Okay, I'm gonna give you a couple more minutes with this, but then I'm cutting you off.
Well, it's sort of interesting. I think it was. I think the original horse was called something like Eohippus, and they were
Uh-huh.
like
Huh.
dog sized, and they had little like more like doggy feet, you know, like the
Okay,
toes,
okay. Uh-huh.
and then that gradually, and they have this little. Oh, I forget what it's called now. Is it the chestnut? Something like
Mm,
that. But anyway, they in the books they say like that's probably like the last toe, like in evolution is making it, you know, disappear up the
mhm,
leg, and they just got left with
mhm,
the one toe. Like why it grew into a hoof, I don't know. That's
mm,
beyond
mhm.
my pay grade. Pretty interesting though, huh?
Well, I um sure, sure. Yes.
Anyway,
Okay. The fact
okay,
that
so
I can picture you now poring over books about
little horse
horses,
books. Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I
That's
did.
kinda
I did.
sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
wild about them. Anyway,
Yeah.
okay, Dex stabbed.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
think he might have
Sinister.
got new highlights in his hair as well. He looked like he just like had a fresh, like he was
Yeah.
just um, you know,
Like, what
at
did you
an
call it?
audition for a
Flocking?
boy
Was it
band or something.
flocking like the, trees?
Maybe
Is that what
it's
you call
flocked. Yeah, like
it?
flock of seagulls.
Lots of possibilities. But getting back to the bell observation, um, if and that I'm sure that is true that it stopped. I don't think our one of our lovely listeners would have misremembered anything like that. Something we would have done, but our
Right. I know.
listeners
I
are
believe
better
him.
than
I
us.
believe him.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. So that I would say is a good detail, versus some of these stupid details that they've
Oh
been
yes,
inserting,
yes, yeah.
you
And I
know.
have quite a few of those to bring up, but
Okay.
I'll hold off for the moment.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
Okay, so that happened Tuesday. It's at Rice
That
Plaza.
happened
Oh, and
Tuesday.
the silly fight in Rice Plaza with all the
Ugh.
extras that was so awkward.
Oh, so it's just so like I don't. It's not even like community theater. It's. I mean, I guess it is kind of like you almost expected them to burst into song. You know.
Well, right, and start snapping their fingers
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah.
When
Uh-huh.
you're a jet, whatever that,
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I
Silly
didn't
in the
like any
theater.
of that stuff either, to be honest with you.
No. No. Mm-mm.
Not was never a fan of the musical.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So that
that
was
was
all
quite
silly.
awkward.
Yeah.
And I
Hmm.
don't know. I mean, it's carrying on this whole like it's like Port Charles is obsessed with football right now. All these characters that we didn't
Hmm.
know were obsessed with football and
Right.
suddenly
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I
and
know.
sometimes I like it when episodes kind of have a running theme, like everybody's
Uh huh.
having breakfast or something.
Yes. Uh huh.
But I wasn't digging the whole football thing, and I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah. Right.
I
Right.
mean, maybe
Yeah.
it's all is it all to make this Kai character like more part of things, like we're
Well, yeah, I guess it definitely will become a story if he doesn't win this game and, Trina feels like she's somewhat responsible for that. I don't know.
I hope
But
that makes her a little more palatable. She has not been
I
palatable
know she
lately.
hasn't been. Even when she was talking to Joss about how well he did on the paper, it's like, what's happened to her? You know,
I don't. Yeah, I know. I know. She's.
she used to be
Yeah.
way more down to earth, didn't she? She wasn't like a
Yeah. Right.
snobby kind of a kid, you
Yeah.
know,
She's being very judgy lately.
very judgy, acting like, she's got to be the smartest one in the room. I don't know.
Yeah. So
So that
not
was
digging that. Yeah.
no, no.
Okay. What else happened Tuesday? What else do you have?
I forget if this was Tuesday or Wednesday. This was also kind of silly. Martin and Jason and Anna.
Oh, I kind of
I
enjoyed
can't.
that scene.
I don't remember what day that was. It was funny, but it was also a little bit absurd. And I mean, I guess that's okay. Although we're not used to seeing Jason in the role of, playing like a sort of like a fake enforcer for a change,
Yeah, and
right?
were they really like passing around some kind of something they were going to hit him with, or
I
it was like,
think there was all props, but it's just still it kind of seemed a little bit weird, didn't it?
yeah, I enjoyed Martin. Like at one
Hmm.
point, he waved his hand in front of Jason's face to see if he,
Yeah,
see if he
yeah.
would actually break his expression, and
Right,
that
right.
was kind
Yeah.
of fun. Like he's got some good comedy chops.
He
Um,
does. Yeah. So they definitely could use him for that kind of thing. I
but
don't
yeah,
know.
it was an absurd situation. Like Anna would do that
Right,
as
right.
as head of the police to, like
Yeah, and it seems like Martin probably somewhere in his mind knew that this wasn't gonna, go down the way
yeah,
like a
yeah.
real criminal would treat him. I don't know.
And this whole right, I get that we need to find Charlotte because her mother's awake now. But
Right.
the fact that it's become this obsession with Jason
Yeah.
and Anna
Yeah.
doesn't feel
Yeah.
very real.
No, it feels like there's all this new urgency to it. And like we mentioned last time, it took Lulu of quite a while before Charlotte's name crossed her lips, you know?
Right, right. Yeah, we had a lot of Lulu in the Tuesday and Wednesday, I think,
Yes,
right?
yes, we did. Yeah, we also had
Mm.
the Brennan Carly encounter after he found the bug.
Oh yeah, yeah. Um,
I kind of liked her choice to just cop to it immediately, like not pretend that she had nothing to do with it.
yeah, yeah,
Because I don't think that would have gone well. I think he would have seen through that probably. Um,
yeah.
what
We
do
had a lot of that Colette woman too, which is
Yeah, that was no good. Yeah, she's not
yeah,
helping. She's not helping
you're not
anybody.
helping.
Yeah.
Um,
But how did you feel about the Carly Brennan dynamic? Do you feel like it's
uh,
shifted? Do you still
I
have
guess we're
hope?
supposed to think I still have hope for them.
Mhm.
Um, she seems very invested in him. Like
Mhm.
I
Mm.
believe that she was like, I wanted to do it to show them that you're a good guy. And like, I
Yeah.
think she
Yeah.
does think that he's a good guy.
Yeah.
But we had him saying like to no one that, oh, if only
Mhm.
I were the good man that,
Yeah.
whatever he said.
Yeah.
So
Right.
maybe we're about to find out some more dirt about him or something.
Yeah. Yeah, hard to say. Hmm.
I don't know. I like Carly's outfit those past couple of days. She was
The
wearing like
the red blouse.
the red blouse. I believe that's called ruching.
Okay.
Ruching in the
Okay.
middle, and I've become a fan of ruching. I think I think I need shirts that have ruching that sort of add an element of forgiveness in certain areas.
An
It's what I'm
element
looking
of
for.
you could use that in many aspects of your life. An element of forgiveness. That's awesome.
Yeah, because you know Carly is she's a lovely woman, but she's got some curves.
Yes, she
She's
does. She's got like a nice regular figure, I would say.
yeah,
Although in
yeah.
person, I bet she looks slim.
Oh, I'm
Um,
sure. Yeah, and she's not
you
heavy, but
know,
I just mean she's got hips and boobs,
yeah.
and I thought that ruched blouse looked like I just
I,
keep saying it. I know.
I just looked it up, and it's ruche,
Oh,
ruche. I just had to make you stop.
Did you know that yourself before you
I
looked it
was
up?
thinking, I was thinking, I don't think that's right, but I have to confirm it before.
Well, you know how you only read a word? Like I've seen it,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
descriptions of
Uh-huh.
things, like
Uh-huh.
the bathing suit with the retching. It's called,
And it
say it for me again so I can use
ruche,
it.
ruche.
Rouge.
It's
Rouge.
French.
So it's a ruche.
Bonjour. Ruche,
Rouge.
yeah. And so it's pleated, fluted, or gathered.
All right.
Although
Well,
it,
that fits
yeah,
that blouse, right?
yeah.
It had all of
Mm-hmm.
that. I think it
Oh.
had all very fluted. Um.
Uh, it's
Anyway,
a
it's a good trend, I think, in women's
Yeah, this is
clothing.
a nice definition. Ruching is a fabric manipulation technique. I like that
Ooh.
word choice.
All
Used
right.
to give a garment texture and dimension. Okay,
And to give
there you go.
a body forgiveness. To give
Yes.
it a little. I
An
think of it as a
element
little
of
bit of like
forgiveness.
an element of camouflage over my
Yes.
beer
Yes.
gut kind of thing.
hmm
Um,
You hate it when like the gut sort of like expands the ruching to the point where it's no longer
it's like no
ruching.
longer
it's
it's no
just
longer
it's just
reaching
fabric.
effectively. Yeah, it's just flutes of fat. Um, anyway,
Oh dear.
yeah, I still have hope for she and Brennan. I
hmm
guess.
Yeah,
Um,
I think they could do something with those two.
yeah, they're still trying to. Uh,
Yeah. And I like that he did seem sort of genuinely on some level a bit wounded, right?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think he does. I think he does have feelings for her. Or
Yeah.
some, you know.
Yeah. And I guess he just wanted or hoped for that sort of like blind, faith and loyalty towards him.
Yeah, I guess so. But the whole bugging thing was such a stupid, like, oh, yep, they do
Yeah, that
sweep
was
their
stupid.
offices every half hour. Yep.
Of course, of course. And he did have a good point that she could have breached national security, whatever the hell the
Yeah.
WSB has to do with national security, we don't
We
know,
don't
but
know. They're just looking for Valentines, all they ever do.
that's how they play solitaire
Yeah.
and look for Valentine, yeah.
And work on their French accent. I
Ah,
wonder if she
bonjour.
knew it was rushing. Rushing.
Yeah, I bet she
Like
did. I bet
Colette.
she did.
Oh,
Yeah.
Colette. Um,
So yeah, we had all of that nonsense.
and we had Lulu marching around. Like, was that when she marched into Nina's office?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
I'd like
liked
to
her a
see just
bit
a little.
less.
Yeah. Well, and I'd like to see. I mean, I know we have to kind of go with this soap opera thing, and we know she's been in a coma for 4 years, and we're just.
Mhm.
But she's marching around like there's no muscle weakness. There's no, like
Yeah,
there's no
yeah,
like I need to sit for a minute, because I'm
right.
regaining my strength. Or they could easily throw in some little details and still have her running around town, you
Mhm.
know, being up in everybody's business and getting in their faces and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I agree. Or yeah, because I was sort of preoccupied with her health the whole time. Every time I saw her.
Yeah, but she's not. She's,
She's
fit as a
not.
fiddle. She's going.
Yeah,
Um,
she's getting it
so I
done.
thought that was stupid because I thought, well, somebody's probably still monitoring her. You'd assume Laura. And so if she
Yeah,
said, um, I'm gonna go approach Nina and find out about Charlotte, that Laura would have said, well, there's really not much point to that because Nina and Valentine haven't been, like, why is she
yeah.
cruising about town without
Right.
knowledge of some of the.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. She could have been brought up to speed in a lot of areas before
Yeah,
she went
yeah,
around wasting everybody's time.
yeah. Um,
Or she would have
and
been like driving around with like Lucky or something, had a chauffeur.
yeah, wingman or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
What did you think of the reunion with Maxie?
well, I guess I guess it was fine. I felt I felt a little bad for Maxie that she hadn't seen her sooner, or
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. I was then it made me think, let's say you just emerged from a coma after 4 years, Gia. Where
Me
would
for
I
sure,
be on
yeah.
your list? How far
Um,
down the list?
well, a lot of my family is dying, so you move up, you know.
That's so sweet.
I'd just be texting you like thinking we were about to do the podcast again, and then you'd
Yeah.
actually tell me that I'd missed 4 years of General Hospital, and
Yeah.
General Hospital's been off the air for 4 years.
Oh,
No,
wouldn't that
I'd
be
call you right away.
devastating?
I'd call you before. I wouldn't let as much time go by as Lulu did, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I was thinking too. Like somehow you'd like lock in with your best friends,
With your
especially
friends. Yeah.
yeah, because if she wants to get stuff done and to know what's going on, Maxie's going to be the source.
Yeah, yeah. So I thought I liked the idea that Maxie had her feelings hurt and
Yeah,
that was going to be kind of
yeah,
talked about, and they didn't really get into it. They didn't.
right. Not much. Yeah, I mean Maxie, I'm sure didn't want her to feel guilty, but it's just,
Yeah,
again, you wonder like, is this just a bad writer's choice, or are we supposed to think that Lulu's kind of a dink for this?
kind of. Well, and could they have also explained that with a little bit of like,
Yeah.
I've noticed that Lulu has a somewhat flat affect after coming out of her coma or something like that. Like there could be some
Yeah.
synapses that aren't firing yet, or
Yeah. Yeah.
she could
Definitely.
she could maybe lack empathy and sympathy, or
Mhm.
something like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh-huh.
I mean, because I don't know, did she have a brain injury, or
Mm.
because people when they suffer brain
Right.
injury or stroke or whatever, there can be
Right.
personality changes,
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
and that
Hmm.
might be something to talk about with her. But I feel like we're just all
Mhm.
done with medical stuff with Lulu. We're just like
Right. We've
full
moved
steam
on.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, maybe it's kind of like it's in some ways it seems like a lot of the violence and the medical stuff on General Hospital is like cartoon violence.
Like pow,
Like,
like
yeah, like you can
yeah.
explode and then be fine, you
Oh
know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like sort of Acme.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. But
I see what you're getting at. Okay, it took me a minute.
but then, there's other times where like, poor Brit gets sort of like didn't she just kind of get swiped with the hook, like not like a
Yeah, but
serious like
yeah,
wound, but it was the
Heather knew what she
poison.
was doing, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's all just what they need for the plot, I guess.
Yeah, right. Right. Mhm.
I don't know, but I kind of felt like their reunion was a little bit underwhelming. I wanted more
Yeah.
specialness because
Yeah, right.
Maxie was so excited to see her again, and I mean, it was
Mhm.
all right. It was
It was
okay.
all right, yeah, but, like, Maxie is such a good actor, like, if you'd given her the right lines, it
Yeah,
would have
something a
been
little
pretty
bit meatier.
powerful probably,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So, I don't know.
Anyway, and also Maxie's they've found a bedazzler.
Yeah,
Um,
they did, didn't they?
we've had a couple of bedazzled outfits.
Mhm, yeah.
We had
Yeah.
what I think can only be called a Canadian tuxedo that one day,
Yeah. Yeah.
with the rhinestone collar, which
Yeah.
Maxie's looking pretty darn cute lately, and she could kind of pull
Yeah.
that off.
She could,
Um,
but yeah, maybe she shouldn't have to. I don't
Maybe
know.
not. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of like that sort of monochromatic all
Yeah.
denim look,
Yeah. It's
but
kind of like almost like a Pat Benatar kind of an energy.
I guess so. Yeah, when I've shown up, I had a certain friend. If I showed up in jeans plus a jean jacket,
Yeah.
I was told that was a Canadian tuxedo. But this was from a Maine friend, and that's almost Canada anyway.
It is. I was gonna say
Yeah.
there'd be a lot of those up here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
And she didn't say it in like a a kind
Derogatory way?
way.
Oh.
She's Yeah, no, she was being critical. Like I should have thought
Oh.
about not wearing a full-on denim
Wow.
outfit.
Well, that's a little bit mean.
Yeah, yeah. But I thought Maxie could pull it off. But then she showed up the
Yeah.
next day in a bedazzled turtleneck.
Mhm. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wasn't sure how I felt about that.
Yeah. I don't know either. I
I'm
mean,
searching
I
my
was
feelings now. I'm searching them. I'm thinking
okay.
it would be uncomfortable, both a turtleneck and sort of bedazzled things on it.
Yeah, I did find it distracting, I'll say that, the
I might think
sparkliness of
if
it.
I were wearing that all day long, I'd look down and think I'd spilled something on myself. Like, oh no,
Through through how many times do you think you would say, "Oh, no?"
oh no, I dropped a vegetable from my vegetable soup or something. Like my eyes are getting bad. I think I need to go up 1 degree on my readers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
the time that starts to happen.
gonna kick in.
Yeah.
Um. Anyway, okay. Any other Tuesday, Wednesday things that we?
Well, we had a little Brad and, Lucas, but not a
Oh
very
yeah, he
little.
let Lucas know that he was gonna be at that thing, which was
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought he was going for the element of surprise, like just pop up at the beach and
yeah.
be
Maybe he knew that
irresistible in a speedo or something. And
maybe he knew that that would make it look like he'd been scheming or something,
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. So there was that. Um, gosh, I was just thinking about something else and I then forgot it. We had,
That'll happen. Excuse me.
what we had, well, let's talk about, I guess we could start talking about today's episode and all the stuff going on at the Quartermaine mansion.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I think there is one thing from I think Wednesday.
Okay.
Um, and this is just a small complaint of mine to the props department.
Okay.
Um,
Mhm.
we had Sasha working on a gingerbread
Oh,
house,
man.
which she claimed was going to be the centerpiece of
Yeah,
the whole.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I'm glad
Okay,
you
so we
mentioned
we
that,
are of
Gia.
like mind on this
Oh,
because
absolutely, yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, first of all, it looked very childishly done. If Sasha did that
Yes.
herself, I apologize. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but
Yeah.
beyond that, we're talking the Quartermaines.
Right, right. Yeah.
If she said
They're
this is for the children's table at Christmas at the Quartermaines, then okay. But this is the centerpiece of the whole. Like the
yeah.
scale was very wrong, if that's the case.
Very wrong. In fact, she should have been putting that together with the children because that was sort of the type of
That's what it
gingerbread
looked
house,
like. Yeah, I
Yeah,
made a gingerbread house that was better than
yeah,
that one.
yeah. But there's some kick-ass stuff going on in the gingerbread house world, and
Is
that's
there?
what
Where,
they would.
where do you Okay, so I was going off about horses and stuff, but there was a real like gleam in your eye. I could
Yeah,
sense when you said
that's
that.
true. That's
Is
accurate
there
because
like a
yeah, well,
channel of gingerbread houses or something? Or
pretty much, yeah. These baking cooking channels, they have like gingerbread
oh,
house competitions, and people travel all over the country to these competitions. And they've got like teams of people, some of them do like
yeah,
the glass windows with sugar, so there's all this like
wow.
stuff going on. And that's what the Quartermaines would have if they're going to have a gingerbread
One
house.
would think. One would think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Tracy would swat that thing right off the table.
I know. She would not. She would be like disgusted with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd be like, get out.
Maybe
You're done.
Sasha's doing that just to like
Just to
stick
get
it to
fired.
her. Yeah,
To stick it to her.
yeah. Like there's this pathetic gingerbread house.
Now that is some
Yeah,
passive aggressive
yeah,
behavior.
yeah, very, yeah. Um, I made them. A friend of mine and I made them like 17 magazine had like a
Mm,
layout on doing your own gingerbread house one year. My
yeah.
girlfriend and I, we each made them, and we were both um our cats both like pretty much destroyed them, eating
Uh-huh.
them like when we were done.
Uh-huh.
And we took forever. They were not easy. These were
Yeah.
not easy projects.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
But that's the kind of stick-to-itiveness young girls sometimes have, like
That's true, and then it fades, doesn't it?
it does fade. But I like 17 magazine was like a blueprint for me. I was trying
Yeah.
so hard to like
Yeah. I know.
fulfill the promise of my youth by following the instructions of 17 magazine.
You're saying some wonderful things tonight, Gia. Just
Am I?
like waxing poetic. Yeah.
Did you
So
were you
if you
attached to those magazines as a young
Oh, I
girl? Like
was. I
17?
was.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
seemed like they were the secret way to
Mhm.
whatever this wonderful, beautiful life that you
Yeah.
could have. If only you got this stuff right. If only you got this shit
Yeah.
right. And I
And
was
if
never
only
getting
it
it
was
right.
I was never getting it right, and it never really included that element of forgiveness that you
the,
mentioned, you know?
the the ruching. The
The
ruching.
ruching. We
We
needed more
needed more
ruching.
ruching. Yeah. But I felt like they always had like timelines for getting in shape or whatever it
Mm,
was, or learning to pluck
mm.
your eyebrows or whatever the hell it was that you were supposed to do. And
Yeah, I know, it did all seem like all the answers were in there. We just couldn't
yeah,
decipher them.
we just didn't ever get it quite right.
No. Oh, well.
Does it still exist, that magazine? Is it out there?
I wanna say yes, in some form, I think so, but I don't know that I've seen it on a magazine stand. I don't know if like,
I
I
don't
can't
know when the
picture
last time I
kids.
saw a magazine stand. I think when
Oh,
I
there
worked at Borders.
yeah, and they do
I
still have
hated
them at
that. You remember trying having to straighten
uh,
that fucking thing out at
periodicals.
night when
Yeah,
you're trying to
ugh,
close? It's like midnight and you're like,
yeah,
oh, here's another, because
yeah.
all the loser people that would go in there and get stacks and stacks of magazines and not buy them and leave
Yep,
them on
bring
the
them in the
cafe table.
cafe.
And you're
Yeah,
like, oh, you
savages.
fuckers, you fuckers, you know?
Luckily, we've let that go, and we're unfettered.
By our anger at we both just, in full disclosure, we both worked at the same Borders, but we didn't overlap, did we?
No, I guess we didn't. That's too bad, isn't it? We would have been quite a
We
joy
could have had a
to
good time.
behold. Think of the eye rolling.
But I'm sure you were a good employee. Like I started as a bookseller
Mhm.
and I couldn't hack it. My eyes would get bleary when I tried to look for the books. Then I was like, oh, just whatever. There's so many books, you know. And- or when people would describe something to you, and try to make you like, I don't know, like no, it's, and you're like, what, like, it
Oh
was just
god.
awful. And we had that awful manager who was like something out of a
Yeah.
sitcom. Do you remember him?
Yeah. Yep.
And if you got
Classic, like, mediocre manager.
oh, he was terrible. And if you got employee of the month, you got taken to that horrible restaurant with the dead animals all over the walls.
Oh
Remember
god,
that?
yeah,
Maybe you
yeah.
never got maybe you never got employee of the month.
I never did. I never did, but,
Well, and the
I'm
treat
okay with
was
that.
that the loser manager took you out to lunch, and so you had to sit and have an awkward lunch with him. It was like, this is great.
Oh, that sounds awful. Yeah.
Uh, anyway,
Anyway. Oh boy.
I
Okay.
can't even find the thread back to what we were talking about.
I'm just picturing like a
Oh,
poor
we were talking
customer.
about Sasha's gingerbread house.
Yeah, somehow we got to your skills as a bookseller, and I can
With her
picture
Gil.
some poor customer looking for a
I
book
know.
that's probably quite important to them, and you saying, "Oh, so many books."
Yeah, yeah, I wasn't good at that. I was a great barista. That was
See, and
my
I would have been terrible at that. I couldn't have survived a day working in the cafe.
really? No, that was my
Yeah.
jam. I was like, coffee, you want
Wow.
more coffee? like
That's a special skill, Gia. Seriously.
yeah, no, we were
Yeah.
good at that. We were a
Mhm.
well-oiled machine in there.
Yeah. So, good for you. Good for you.
Anyway, so yeah, Sasha's. I'm glad you noticed that and that we're in agreement on that gingerbread house because I was
Yeah.
like, you got to be
Yeah.
kidding me, props department.
Yeah, that was a joke.
So, and
Um,
on the same note, moving forward to
mhm.
today, so they're
Yeah.
having their big Christmas party,
Right.
at which everybody must have instead heard that it was a funeral because they were dressed more like for a funeral. But
Right. Right. Yeah.
did you take a look at the hors d'oeuvres? That there was
They
like
were
Sasha was walking around with a plate of like 4 or 5, like I don't even know what, like
I know. And she'd come in with a tray of glasses of drinks, and there were like 3 drinks on the
three,
tray.
yeah, like and anybody want, it's like it was
Yeah.
so weird, like it was that noticeable. We can't be the only ones
Yeah.
that noticed that.
No, and usually I can, I'm not paying attention to details like that all the time, but they did seem kind of glaring, all of that. It seemed
Yeah.
like such a low budget thing.
Now, conversely, just to satisfy
Mhm.
people that think we're nothing but negative, which is pretty
Yes,
true, but
it is true.
um Ava and Rick were having a fine repast.
They were. They
Yeah.
were. Yes, that's true.
Like
And
that looked like real food and like it was a
yeah,
big old like charcuterie thing.
and
Yeah.
even Sunny and Natalia looked like they were having real food too.
Yeah, I've blocked them out of my mind. I don't like either.
Okay. All right, do you want to
Uh,
talk about Ava and Rick then, since that you lit up a little bit when you started to talk
okay.
about
All
them?
right.
Okay.
I don't have much to say. Ava, as usual, was like
Mhm.
radiant in her
Yes.
ensemble.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, I think
Oh,
we're
oh.
gonna see them as a couple, right? I
It
guess.
seems like was she trying to say she wanted to do it with him?
I think so. She
I'm
had a
not good at
couple of gifts
deciphering
for him. I'm not sure what, and then but then
a
she said
big
something about wrapped and
ribbon.
unwrapped and yeah.
Yeah,
And
but she said big ribbon, and then she was like fingering her the tie on her blouse.
you're making me uncomfortable.
I know, I didn't the word fingering, something about that.
Yeah, it's not a good one to use ever. If you would just wipe that from your vocabulary, we'd all
Okay.
appreciate it.
Okay, for you, Gia, I will never use that word again.
Thank you. I'm not alone. If anybody else, if the listeners can chime in, I can feel they're all in
Yeah.
agreement.
I they all recoiled slightly
Yes,
when they heard
yes,
the word. Yeah. I'm
yeah.
sorry. I didn't start the sentence intending to use that word,
No,
but
I know.
there it was. There it was.
Yep. Um,
Um, anyway.
yeah,
Okay,
so
so we
I don't
had
know. I feel I'm searching my feelings again. Rick and
yeah,
Ava, how do I feel about that? I feel
yeah.
neutral about it, I
Yeah, it's
guess.
too soon maybe to have a
Yeah.
real fully developed feeling about that, maybe.
Yeah. Do
I
we do
don't
you have any thoughts on the whole money disappearing thing? That happened with them. It was later, but
yeah,
isn't
well,
Sunny doing that, you think?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe, but I don't know for sure. But what I was gonna say is, do you think Rick is good enough for Ava?
No, no. Well,
In
I
your
mean,
mind, is
I think
anyone?
Rick's is a putt. But yeah, in my
Yeah,
mind, nobody's really good enough for Ava.
right, right,
Um,
yeah. But yeah, he doesn't seem like he's got any like really true morals. Like his character is very weak, right?
yeah, yeah, and he's a little slimy,
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I thought Austin was gonna be good enough for her. Remember when they kind of
Mhm,
toyed with
mhm.
that being a little
Yeah,
affair?
yeah.
But they just
Mhm.
didn't. The whole Austin thing, they just didn't want to work with that character.
Right, right, yeah, shame. Um,
Um,
so yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, we're talking about the disappearing money, and then when the waiter said we're gonna have to destroy this card, I
yeah,
don't think
is
that's
that
something
happen?
people
Do they
say.
do that? Yeah. Yeah, that was
Uh,
all weird.
but then the thing that was happening at the hospital, it seemed like maybe some virus had taken over the computers. That
Oh, I didn't connect those two things. Okay.
I wondered if they were connected. I'm not
Yeah,
sure, not
maybe.
sure. But and
I
also
was
the
just
cable going out at the Quartermaines.
I couldn't figure out why who would have something against Ava. I was just thinking Sunny, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah. That's what I thought initially, but then I wondered if there was some connection between all of these things.
Oh yeah, maybe you're right. Did the bells
Like
stop ringing?
snow in the summertime, it's one of
Oh
those like
right, like
Cassadine curses
that
or something.
Cassadine plot. Yeah,
Yeah. Or could
that
it
must
be
be
like
amazing.
a pikeman? Yeah. Or what's his
Oh,
name?
Pikeman's back.
Who's the
Hmm.
guy? The Sidwell, is that his name?
Oh yeah. All right.
Would
Yeah.
he do something like, well, I don't know why he would target everybody in town. Like it
Oh,
seems like it's like a whole port, like a Port Charles wide
like a
thing
Port
that's
Charles
happening.
like Christmas virus or something. That's
Yes. And my biggest fear is that it will derail the plans for the Esplanade, which has come
right. The
to life
McConkey
again.
Esplanade. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Although it looks like
Oh.
Curtis has new plans, a new vision for the Esplanade, so that's exciting.
We didn't talk about we did see a little bit of like Curtis and Portia and the Jordan thing, and we got a hint that Portia was not happy with Curtis
Yeah,
talking to Jordan, and then that kind of what disappeared, that concern, or he smoothed it away, I
I
guess.
don't know. I don't think it's going to be that easily smoothed away, and that seemed like that still doesn't help us like the Portia character much, does it?
No, no,
No.
having her be, hinky about Curtis again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because he
But
seems like he's
he
not.
did talk to Jordan about it before her.
Yeah,
So, but in her defense, she's right that
hmm. But maybe was it because he ran into Jordan and somehow the conversation just went that way? I can't remember, but it seemed like he didn't. Did
um
he seek her out initially to talk
I
about it?
don't yeah, I don't know if he sought her out or not. Um
Anyway, I mean, I can understand that Portia would feel that way, I guess, but
yeah, it would feel a little, but yeah, Portia being insecure never makes her more attractive to anybody.
right, right, yeah, yeah.
I guess I
So
don't know anybody who can wear insecurity in an attractive way.
that's a good
I try to
point.
make it look good on me, but I need more ruching.
No, I know.
So much more ruching before anybody finds my insecurities attractive.
Ditto.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
same.
Uh,
That is exactly right, Gia. I know but it is hard to shake. It's hard to fake, being
yeah, like
secure.
being secure. Yeah, yeah. Supposed to fake it till you make it.
You are. So I
Yeah.
guess we could try. Um,
And we had a
also,
little bit of Jordan and hot new doctor.
yeah, and
Uh,
that's what I was just gonna say. Once again, somehow they're taking what should be pretty easy and making it look difficult. Like the way she said she was going to go to Rice Plaza or whatever so people would see that, it was still
Being
safe.
safe. Yeah.
But and then he said, "Well, maybe I'll come with you or something." But it seemed like she was just kind of like talking as though she wasn't planning on him saying anything, you know? You know what
Yeah,
I
it was
mean?
all very awkward. I don't know what.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
why couldn't she just have been a little more like casual and said, "Would you like to go, or to Rice Plaza with me or something like that?" I don't know. It seemed a little weird.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm not buying those two as a potential couple. It's a little.
They're not making it look like it's going to work very well,
Yeah.
which is too bad. I mean, they're both very attractive
They
and
are very
single.
attractive, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I guess we need to just see him in action a little more.
Yeah, and then Jordan they need to like decide what kind of person she is.
Yeah,
Like, is she
yeah.
fun at all or is she too buttoned up? I don't know.
She seems quite buttoned up, um,
Yeah.
which is an okay way to be. Like, that could. like Alexis is a very buttoned up, anxious kind of
Yes.
character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
yeah, we just haven't seen Jordan. Like, I don't know. We haven't seen her with her own full storyline in a long time.
Right, right. Yeah, it's her life, every
Mhm.
nothing about her is really as fleshed out
Yeah,
as it
she's
needs to be.
periphery to peripheral
Yeah,
to a lot of people, but
right.
um,
But I
anyway,
would like
but
a little more Jordan, I think. I mean, I would like them to try harder with that
yeah,
character.
yeah.
Um,
What else did we have? We did have Alexis. Sorry, and Alexis
Christina?
and Molly and Alexis and Christina today, which I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
Alexis again was strong in the clarity of her message to Molly. I mean to Christina.
Yeah, I think we both appreciate that she said what we were hoping somebody would say to Christina.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
and she didn't really back down, like, she
yeah, that's
kinda
what I liked. She
kept.
didn't back down, but then she reinforced at the end that, I'm never going away. I always love
Yeah,
you. I'm your mother, so it's not like
mhm.
a I'm withholding love because
Right,
you're,
right, yeah,
it's
yeah,
but she was firm about you're in the
mhm,
wrong here. And
mhm, yeah, yeah, it is
I don't know.
I
I don't know
mean
if she needed to be critical of the Charlie's restaurant move because it seems to me like, well, we do want her to get some
yeah,
direction in her life and have something to do.
yeah, I think
Um,
that I thought that too, that there's nothing wrong with having a little something to keep you busy, you know?
yeah. What do you think she's
Uh,
going to do with Charlie's? Why is she taking everything down? And
I don't know. I guess it could, yeah, if you think it's gonna be a whole new setting, huh? Not the pub sorta atmosphere anymore.
maybe it's going to be like a boba tea palace or something. Or maybe it's
Could
going to
be,
be
yeah, maybe it
a,
could be a little more trendy. I
maybe
kinda like
a
the
vape
pub.
a vape shop. I don't think there are enough of those.
No, no, there's nothing like a delicious e-cig.
Yeah, we need more vaping. That's
And
what
they're
we need.
they're a terrific stocking stuffer, so there's a little tip.
Yeah. Oh, I was wondering what to get your daughter, and thanks.
Any of the fruity flavors she would
Send her a
love.
bunch of fruity cartridges. Are they called cartridges? I don't even
I
know.
think so. Oh, what an awful, awful invention. Anyway.
I won't really do that. I was gonna get her one of those lifesaver packs, those big.
Oh, yeah, that was always the best, like, Secret Santa thing at school. Those
Oh yeah,
lifesaver books,
you
yeah.
like those? I used to get those occasionally in my stocking. Pretty good.
Wow,
It always
yeah.
had weird flavors, like pineapple or something that you couldn't normally
Yeah,
get.
yeah, uh-huh. Hmm.
Kind of fun, pretty fun.
Yeah, definitely, Gia, sure.
I miss getting
Uh,
a stocking. Where's my mommy with my stocking?
oh, dear.
I know. Um, I'm a little pathetic at Christmas. I get a little pathetic at Christmas. Uh, let's see what else. Oh, well, then we could dive right into all the freaking soapy stuff that's going on,
Yeah,
right?
we kind of we sort of forgot the
I know
point
we
of
started we're like, don't
today.
talk about it yet.
Yeah.
Um, so i I love like there are moments like I always like a good surprise.
Yep,
But
yep.
I also like when this is gonna like I knew the minute that Michael was like, I can just cast that on the screen, or I was like,
Yeah.
that is so gonna be bringing up the nanny cam footage,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's a delicious moment when that happened.
It is. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Uh,
Wasn't that fun? That was a fun soap moment.
it was a fun soap moment. And Michael, it seems like there's some sort of a contest with the male characters, like who draws the short straw and has to wear the blue blazer, you know?
Do you think they're just passing it around?
Yeah, I think it's the same jacket. And
It's like
Michael,
the big green golf jacket, whatever that thing's
yeah, like
called.
the Masters jacket. Yeah,
Masters.
except you're not the winner when you're wearing that jacket, really.
No, no.
But it was so, I mean, uh, I guess it was deliberate to have Willow constantly like at Drew's side,
Yeah, what
throughout the
the
party.
actual
But
fuck?
you
those
know?
two standing together the entire time when they
Yeah.
know that pretty much everybody in the room knows that
Yeah.
something's up, and
And in theory, she wants to make amends. She wants to be
right,
with Michael, right?
right. And in theory, he's trying to like calm things down and yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
he was just being so lecherous
ugh, yeah.
and what the conversation between Drew and Nina,
Mhm.
I was liking Nina a lot in that.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
both days actually we saw Nina
Mhm.
like kind of reading him the riot act about what he was doing to Curtis.
Right, that was nice to have somebody sort of
Yeah, somebody that have a little bit of
yeah.
moral fiber. I didn't think it would ever be Nina, but
Right, right, but she is Curtis's friend and
yeah, she had a little
yeah,
backbone about it.
yeah. Uh-huh.
And
That
then
was
today about Willow and Michael and what did he mean, or was that just bad writing when he was like, something like, "What are you gonna do about it?" or whatever it was he said.
right,
And then
right.
he
I
said,
was I was
"I
a
didn't
little
think so." Like, what was he daring her to do?
yeah, that's what I was wondering too. Was he gonna have her tell Willow or that she slept with him too or something to like
Oh, is
wake
that what he
Willow
was
up?
going for or
I
something?
I don't know. That was all I could think. But then I thought, would there be any world in which she would say that to Willow just to
Yeah, it
prove
wasn't.
to her that he's a scoundrel? I didn't know if I was following that either.
Yeah. Um, but anyway, I mean, how lecherous is he? He's just like, I don't know. He's trying to buy everybody off or
Yeah,
blackmail him and yeah, he just wouldn't like he just was like glomming onto Willow. And why isn't Willow walking away? I mean, Willow could have
that's the
easily,
thing. That's the
yeah.
thing. Yeah, when she said something about how like she wished things had gone differently or something too, and sort of looks at him. It's like, oh
Yeah.
boy,
Yeah. And
Michael, you
she wears the sexiest dress she's got to the Christmas party,
yeah,
it's like
it was
she's
a
dressed.
little bit naughty, wasn't it?
It was a little naughty. And was anybody in the least bit Christmassy?
That wasn't Christmassy at all. There was a strange vibe going on there. Except Tracy, I guess, had some green and
She
some
had
sort
like
of
a
gold.
Chica kind of Christmas outfit, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to tell you and America that my overalls dress arrived and
Oh,
it's
oh, oh.
huge. It's huge.
Well,
I'm
you
gonna have to
said
send it back.
you don't want to try to tuck your husband in there with you?
Well, you and I could probably fit in there, but I don't think he and I could fit in there. He's a little bigger, but it's I
Uh,
wanted, a comfortable like kick around
yeah,
town kind of
yeah.
thing, but
Uh-huh.
this is like
Mhm.
um almost hazardous. It's kind of that way.
Too much
I might get
forgiveness?
caught in a turnstile or something. Like,
Could you take it to a seamstress and ask if they could do some ruching?
you know, maybe I could. That's not a bad idea because I thought, oh, now I got to figure out the whole return exchange thing
Yeah,
with the
that's why I have
clothes.
extra shoes because I don't wanna
Freaking
go through
hassle.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but
Mhm.
yeah, maybe I could take it. There's a lot of little seamstresses around here. Maybe I could.
Mhm. Yeah, maybe they could cut
Thank
out the
you.
extra fabric and make a vest for you.
Maybe they could just do some tight fitting to it. Like
Yeah, yeah. Mm,
that reminds me of I was in a friend's wedding and
mhm.
so a girlfriend and we picked out the dresses and then we sent them to I'll just say it, Denise, and then we sent
Yeah,
it to
okay.
Denise's sisters,
Uh-huh.
and the sisters, without telling the friend Cheryl and I,
Uh-huh.
took them to the tailor, and they were kind of like not drop waist, but they were not
Uh-huh.
fitted in the least. But they went in
Uh-huh.
and had them kind of fitted and made because they thought they looked, unflattering.
Uh-huh.
And so then we all arrive at the ceremony and they're in these more fitted, more flattering peachy dresses. And we're standing there in our sacks.
Could you say sack again?
And we felt like we'd been sabotaged, you know? We're like, this was the dress that was chosen, you know? Like, we picked them up and sent them to you as a favor, and then you don't tell us that you're having them fitted? God.
Wow.
Kind of funny.
Yeah, that is funny. That seems like a scene out of one of those, like a bridesmaids movie, like
Was kind of
kind of
like that.
a
Was a lot
cutthroat
like
thing.
that.
But I don't. Was
Yeah.
it? Do you think it was intended to make you look
No,
awful?
no. I might have looked awful anyway. I don't know. All on my own. Anyway, so that was a fun, like delicious, like, oh my God, that footage comes up and
Yeah. Oof.
Willie's standing there in her bra and
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
we also had, there's this big, like, what's going on with Brooklyn, like Brooklyn's being like, you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
so she's hiding some secret. Is it like has been whispered about on the internet that she's actually Geo's mother?
Well,
Like,
I know. I don't know that doesn't really seem possible, although I suppose it could be. But
they can make anything work on a soap opera.
right, right, yeah. But of course, Chase's antenna is up now because the way she said everybody has secrets.
Yeah, yeah. And she always does this pained look on her face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope that doesn't rock their world too much. I
Yeah.
guess. But that seems kind of silly to have her be Geo's mom, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I would have never come up with that. I mean, I knew something was up with her,
Yeah.
but I never would have come up with that. And we know
No.
something's up with Geo because
Mhm.
whenever he gets mentioned, Lois gets a weird look like she's got to go to the
Yeah.
bathroom or something.
Yeah. True. So we'll see. We'll see what
We'll
that's all
see.
about. I don't
And
know.
then the other big thing you already mentioned was whatever's happening on the hospital computer that Elizabeth is looking at,
Yeah.
which
Right.
I didn't take. I guess now that you say it, it's like, oh, maybe it was. I just took it that she was reading some horrific, report on
Mhm.
somebody's health
Mhm.
or something. But
Mhm.
you're probably right. That was all coinciding at the same time. The like these weird.
I think so. I mean, Ava's is the only thing where it seems a little weird if it was just her, but maybe
Yeah,
it's more
yeah.
widespread than we could see.
So an evil Cassadine plot. Like, did anybody ever really see Helena's body?
I think so. I believe so. But
Okay.
is that enough?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, we do have some people that we're hoping will resurface, like Valentine. Is he going to come back? I don't
I
know.
don't know. I haven't seen any headlines or anything about
Yeah,
what his status is.
yeah. I don't know, but I guess there are a lot of possible suspects. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Or
we'll see.
Is Cyrus
Oh,
killing and also doing some technology,
yeah,
hacking or something?
yeah, right. Yeah, and like you said, if Cyrus is just going to be evil now, that makes him a lot less interesting.
Yeah, and then he'll just get locked up and taken away or killed or whatever.
Eventually, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but it makes me not want to see him even more now if he's just,
Yeah,
always
yeah.
plotting the next evil deed.
Right.
Um,
And if it's all pointless evil deeds, like
yeah, yeah,
without even some semblance of um motive or something,
right, right, yeah. So, yeah,
Anyway.
so
Yeah.
anyway, I guess we were a bit negative, but I think, and we've said this before, our criticism comes from a place of love.
Always. Always.
Always. We want
Yeah.
them to do better. We want them to try
Yeah.
harder.
My
They've got
criticisms comes from my retching. That's where I keep mine.
ruching.
I let it out of the pleats of my retched area.
Are you going back to your rutching
Yeah. Yeah, I like the
pronunciation? I see.
retched.
I
Rutch.
see. Well,
Yeah.
okay. I still
Not
I still
wretched,
will keep.
retching.
I'm going to keep my promise and not use that word again that I used earlier. But
Uh-huh. Okay.
I I still just want to remind you that it's ruching, ruching,
Rushing, rushing. Okay.
ruching. Okay. All right.
Anyway. All right,
Anyway.
but it was fun. I was fun today. I was laughing. I was LOLing
Yeah.
through parts of it. You know.
Yeah, and it was nice to see Tracy again, and that's another one that
Yeah,
she hadn't
yeah.
seen Lulu yet. That seemed a little absurd too,
Oh yeah, right, right.
you know.
Yeah,
But
maybe tomorrow.
whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm ready for bed.
I think you are. Yeah. Okay, you're making me yawn
All right,
now.
sorry.
All right.
All right, well that was
Okay.
fun. Let's talk in a few days.
Okay, Gia, you have a good night.
Okay, you too. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.